Whoa, whoa. Relax. Woo. Just 1 second.
A1.
Cola every night.
Okay.
Tonight, cola?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a call for
How many hours do you
just a couple of hours.
want?
Couple of hours, yeah. Hot to tell from 9 to 11.
So 8, this year's at 8.
The other wasn't beforehand. Okay. So if I'll be able to believe it, then I will come. Oh man. All righty. We're continuing in Tikkun Mamshala, Torah Aleph, Likutey Moharan II. We learned that when a person reaches tefillah such a high level that in Zorchet the B'chinas Dvar Hashem, and then he becomes the source of all the refuahs in the world, because the koyach that medicinal plants have to the merape comes from the stars above them. The stars above them get from the Galim gets from the Malachim. They go up until it starts from Dvar Hashem, the words of Hashem.
Rabbi Nachman got sick and died too.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with that. It's the thing is, it's not like once you get to Dvar Hashem, you live forever. That's not the inyan. The inyan is that b'derech klal, the body is constantly on a balance, is under attack all the time. Yeah, and only people don't know of it. Until, as Rabbeinu says, that there are certain machlos that are infectious diseases. There are certain diseases that come, from blunt trauma, whatever it is. And there's certain diseases, that grow within the person. That they are. In the mycelor, it grows within a person, and the efficacy of the refuahs and medicinal plants and everything else. All this comes from Dvar Hashem, and it trickles down. Dvar Hashem, the High Malach and so forth, until it goes down. It goes to how does the medicinal plant have the ability to cure? Yes, the koyach of Dvar Hashem. But when a person reaches, as we said before, this very, very high madrega of tefillah, as we said in a nutshell, that person has to achieve dominion over the malachim. The way he does is through yira shlema. Yira shlema goes from das, and the yira shlema is affected when a person is under the spell of tavis achila, tavis moment, tavis noshim. Gets the koyach from the Yom Tovim to perfect that. And this creates an angel, which is mashpir the nevuah. The nevuah permeates reality. So lives in a state of nevuah. What happens is that his tefillahs become free, which means we are sort of like we live our lives asleep. We're basically sleeping our lives. And here and there, we wake up, we learn Torah. The main thing is, when we daven. Now, we said that davening, tefillah, is the highest level of interaction of a person with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, face to face. You're talking to him. And it is through tefillah when a person, the deeper the person gets into tefillah, especially his Vedas, the tefillahs, or whatever, the more a person gets involved with the tefillah, the more the reality of HaKadosh Baruch Hu becomes apparent to him. The yira is that the person, what does the yira come from? Because that the HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world. There's yira. There's chavonish. The person, if the world is chas v'chalila, run by nature, by rat. So the same, okay, the world runs by nature. Of course, Baruch Hu, everything. Baruch Hu, you sell the right things. You sing the right song. But Lamaisa, how do I live my life? My life in the way that right now it's a timeout. Like a basketball game, timeout. All right, now I can do whatever it is I want. That's it. There's called a lack of das. There's no such thing. The clock is ticking all the time, no matter what goes on. So when a person is all the time under the onslaught of all the pathogens in the world, and it's all the time. It's a battle. It's a seesaw battle between the pathogens and his immune system, whatever is going on. And when the pathogens overcome the immune system, you need to put to give to use medicines that will augment what the immune system cannot do for itself. But ultimately, every person with Safosha has to leave this world, especially, a tzaddik, that like Rabbeinu, Moshiach, that has to carry upon him, the yisur for all the people that are close to him. The Ramchal says that there are two ways to Gan Eden. One way is to be a tzaddik. That's a straight way. You learn Torah, you kayem the Torah. You get to Gan Eden. But the thing is that being that the Kadosh Baruch Hu is Melech Malchus B'Kol Mashala, and there's a lot at stake. The person doesn't do the Ratzon Hashem, there's a lot at stake. And when things are at stake, like that, go with the Shem. This is what we're talking about, Kiddush HaMalachim. The angels are envious. They're talking about they're mekana the kavod Hashem. What it means to do chas v'chalila. So a person is, the tshuva in itself is not enough, because when a person does something which is not according to the will of Hashem, what has happened is that he becomes more gashmistic, becomes more material. He's strengthening his material aspect. Olam Haba, there's no material there. And the more person materializes himself, the more Olam Hazadik he becomes. So this has to be taken away. And there is no way to take it off. Ultimately, it says they sing that's the tshuva, and ultimately, so it's Yisur Memarkim, the Yisur that the person goes through, they cleanse them off. By the way, today's shiur, of course, is dedicated to the refuah of anybody and everybody in Am Yisrael that needs refuah. the safe return of all the hostages in Gaza, and there was be a good stock of health to Rochel Baskal Selma and
Moshe ben Haya.
Moshe ben Chaya, and Bat Hashem, everybody that we daven for every single day. Bat Hashem. So, but the thing is that in order to be cleansed properly, we don't have the kind of emunah that is necessary. Everybody has, also a different level. Every person has a certain, a bar, like a threshold. They can take that much. But if a person has to go through more than above the threshold, he won't be able to take it. He won't be able to sustain his Yiddishkeit. He won't be able to do that. The person needs a lot more emunah, a lot of b'tochen in order to be able to do that. So the Ramchal says, so what happens is that a person comes close to the tzaddik. The tzaddik has enough emunah and enough b'tochen to carry upon himself all the isurim, all the suffering of all the people who join him. And so every single person takes, gets only the isurim that he can sustain. But that's not enough. It's like trying to buy a car with a 20 shekel bill. So how do you get it? So, the tzaddik takes, you pay 20 shekel, the tzaddik takes upon himself the rest, says the Ramchal, and then, everybody's, gets integrated on the coattails of the tzaddik, and the tzaddik, besides that olam haba that all the people that are connected to him get, he also gets the olam haba that all the isurim, all the suffering that he has carried upon himself for everybody else. So he gets extra. That's his extra olam haba. That's Shem Yazor should cleanse us from all isurim Bezat Hashem. When a person is zocher, with Tudas HaMitim, is zocher, that it creates a malach, and the malach, lets his tefillah free. The person gets to realize the koyach of tefillah. Usually, when a person sends to daven, he has problems with machshava, right? With extraneous thoughts. The first one usually is, the first machshava zara is how quickly can you get rid of finished davening. You can go home. But when a person davens from Zochet to Euro, Das, and he cleanses it from all the debris that holds him back, his tefillah becomes Dvar Hashem. And what he does is that the refuah doesn't have to go through the various medications, the various medicines. Because the power that the medications have to heal comes from Dvar Hashem. It's, the Korach was borrowed from Dvar Hashem, by the high Malachim. From them it was borrowed to lower Malachim, and lower and lower and lower. Until everybody is a borrower. Everybody is so the big lender is the Dvar Hashem. That's the one that lends to everybody. So there's a chayv you have to pay back. So what happens is, so when somebody is using, the malach is borrowing, giving to, is lending to the one below him, and to the one below him, until it gets to the plant, to the medicinal plant or whatever is necessary. Then a person takes this refuah, becomes healthy, and he serves the Kodesh Baruch Hu. With that koyach, the the potency that was borrowed all the way from Bar Hashem gets repaid. Because the person is healed and he serves the Kodesh Baruch Hu with it, and the koach gets back to Bar Hashem. But when a person is zocher to tefillah on such a high level, that his tefillah is, he's zocher to this tefillah be Dvar Hashem mamash. So there's no need, to go around all, all this cycle of lenders and borrowers and lenders and borrowers all the way. When the tzmachim already sense that here's somebody who's zocher to Dvar Hashem, that's, it's an ambulatory bank that receives all the repayments. So they give all the koach, all the potency, all the efficacy, to heal, they give it to Dvar Hashem. What that does, that enables people to become healthy with everything. With bread, with water, with cake, with ice cream, candy, with Coke Zero, with popcorn, everything. You can become healthy with everything. Because until now, the efficacy, the koach to heal was dafka, expressed in medicinal plants. But they already gave the koach back to somebody who was zocher to tefillah Dvar Hashem. So now, so even when there is law aleinu, there's a machla that is inside it, nobody knows about it. It says when the machla is very small, can be very easily taken care of. Nobody knows about it. When people get to know about it, it becomes too much. Then they. But when a person is zocher, there is a person who is zocher to such a tefillah who is so high. There's Dvar Hashem, then people can, being that the koach to heal was released, and people can become healthy through anything. And we said this is not Moshiach. This is the illumination of Moshiach. This is why all the things, all the plants, whatever it is, each one has a different, looks different, smells different, tastes different. So it's Prinas Mata, and the deepest, the main neshama, as it were, of the plant, including medicinal plants, is the smell. Because the look, obviously, is just the way it looks from the outside. The taste is the way that you taste the flesh of the matter. But the smell is kaviyachol the neshama of the plant.
Of the what?
Of the plant, of the fruit, of the smell of the fruit is the most signifies the innermost essence of the fruit. So as Rabbi Rosenfeld said, that the memory smells, the memory of smell is the one that lasts the longest, right? That's what you're saying? Yeah. One that lasts the longest. And it says that's why when you make a bracha, make a bracha on the smell, you don't make a bracha achreina, you make a bracha rishona. Why don't you make a bracha achreina? Because the body does not enjoy the smell. It's the neshama that enjoys the smell. The smell does not give any physical benefits to the body. It's only the neshama that enjoys it. So, but bracha rishona you have to make. Bracha rishona is the neshama is making. You're making for the neshama. Bracha achreina you're making it for the body. It's already in the body, that it should be blessed inside the body. But the smell is you're only making the bracha on the neshama of the fruit or the vegetable or whatever, and the neshama of the person is making the bracha on the neshama of the thing that he is smelling. Now in Moshiach is receiving all the things. Now, until now, we spoke about davening. Davening becomes free, and then davening comes to Moshiach. And in Torah base, in Likutey Moharan Rishon, Rabbeinu says that we're going through a golus. We're sleeping on days. And what happens is that, and this is very apropos to this time for Purim. Because Haman Amalek wanted to convince the Jews that forget about it, it's over. You know, don't bother. It's not a gear. It's not a gear anymore. Forget about it. Sooner or later, you have an ambassador or a friend. So all the tefillas, we live under in the Golus, we live under the illusion that the tefillas don't work. You say, you know, you're talking about where Rabbeinu also was sick, you know, say, where is it? You know, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. All the tefillas, you know, you ask somebody, he says, you know, I'm davening for money, I want money, I don't have money. Or people are davening for this, whatever it is, they feel, Rabbeinu says in Torah base, says, throughout the Golos, when we live in darkness, we live under the impression that Chas v'Chalil, the tefillas are for naught. They don't work. But it's not so. Chas v'Chalil says that every single tefillah that the Jews pray and prayed throughout the generations, you know, every one of these tefillahs is building up the stature, the full koima of the Shekhinah. And when Moshiach will come, he takes all the tefillahs, plus his own tefillahs, and he builds the Shekhinah completely. That's the secret when he says, you know, that they brought all the pieces of the Mishkan to Moshe. Moshe is the one who built the Mishkan. Zohar says Moshe is the only one who could build it. Could put every single piece of the Mishkan in its proper place. What is the Mishkan? The Mishkan is Shekhinah. Am Yisrael did build, you know, the Egel. They served it. So, you know, they took a big step backwards. The Baruch built a Mishkan, but the Shekhinah will be in them on a constant basis from that moment on. And the Mishkan is V'shachanti b'soicham. It's an image of Shekhinah. And the only one who can build the Korban of Shekhinah properly is Moshe. Here's the tzaddik. As it said, all the tefillas and it's Mashiach mekabel kol tefillas. Mashiach receives all the tefillas and he builds the Korban Shekhinah completely. Ki Mashiach u'chinas choytem. Mashiach, as we say in Torah base Chelek Rishon, is chinas choytem. What is it said about Mashiach? Ruach hapein Mashiach Hashem. The ruach of our nose is Mashiach Hashem. That's the breath. In other words, we cannot live. That's it. Shemekabel kol hareichas. The nose receives all the smell. Shehem pchinas tefillas. So Rabbeinu is connecting here, connecting the dots, that the smell, which is the reach, is a euphemism for the tefillah, which, and Mashiach is pchinas choytem. Mashiach is kaviyachol the nose. It says that in Torah base it says that from the nostril, the right nostril of Meduber Pardaska, high bechina, in Kabbalah, the other Salyoni, comes the Ruach Chaim of Moshiach. Moshiach is called the Chotem. What smells? The nose, the Chotem. And then it says, Tehilos Yechtamach. My Tehillah, I shall, quote unquote, nose to you. Al Pipshat, what's the pshat of this pasuk? Tehilos Yechtamach. What does it mean? Because Baruch is saying to Am Yisrael, Pipshat is, you know what my glory is. Anger is called Charun Af, right? The opposite of Charun Af is Erech Apayim, right? It's Sablon, it's can wait. The Baruch Hu says, you know what's my greatest glory? Is that I don't get even with you right away. That I block my anger from overcoming. Teilosi, you know what's my splendor? I don't let the Choron Af, the Chor of the Chotem overcome. I block it. So we see that the yin of Rachamim, yin of Ruach, yin of Chotem, yin of Af. So where do you smith it? With the nose is the Reach. So Moshiach and Reach and Tefillah are all parallel bechinos, are all inyan echad. Ki inikas at Tefillah omer neshama. Where does a person daven? What davens in a person? The neshama davens, right? Zeh b'chinas tehilosi echtumach. What davens? The neshama. The neshama is the ruach hapeinu Moshiach Hashem. So you have here Reach, Tefillah, Moshiach is all one. It's all in of Reach, of nose, of chotem. It all comes the b'chinas chotem kanal. Because the Tefillah is from the neshama enjoys the Reach. And since the Yanika of the Tefillah is from the Reach gets of the Chotem, so Tefillah equals Chotem. We got to repeat this a few more times until finally, it sits down, it sinks in. By the way, the people that whoever it is that watches the shiurim on YouTube or whatever, we have every once in a while, we would have 50, 30, 75 people watching. I mean, when I say on the headline, I say Moshiach, then it gets into 250 because all the rats come out of the hole. Moshiach, hey, So whenever I want to give myself a good feeling, so I put Moshiach in the headline, and they all come in. And they usually leave a remark. You know who it is? No, I know it. You don't know who it is. Anyhow, but last week, this week, a guy found out the things. He calls him, you probably see it when you're talking about him. He says, Eno Milvado, he calls himself. Just an Anglo guy. Just discovered the shiur. And he said, he asked, where's the first shiur of the Torah that we learned together? So I sent the link. The shiur. So he said how much he enjoyed it, and it helps him, whatever. And he said, look how many views are to that shiur. 6. And other channels, they have thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of views, 100,000 upon thousands of subscribers. We have 6. Yeah, we have over 100 subscribers, but altogether, there's 6 people, 4 people, 3 people, 8 people, 10 people, 2 people. That's the. So this is it's like the Maisa that a person learned in the Gemara. They said that the Oilem asks, the Welt fragt, the world wonders about it. And the person learns in the Gemara, and he says, who is asking this question? Who is this oilam? Who is this world that is asking that question? And he goes around and he tries to listen. Trump doesn't speak about it. Musk doesn't speak about it. Who speaks about it? Then he goes to Besmedrash and he sees two people learning this Gemara, and they ask that question. So he said, inevitably, this is the world. These two people are the world. As the Gemara says, the world asks, right? The world asks. Well, if these two people talk about it, that's the world. These 6 people that are that are watching it, that's the world. Everybody else, we'll find out people collecting airplanes or bugs or whatever. Amen. And the depth of the Indian, the Oimika Indian, is that Moshiach Tzidkenu will bring the world a Das Amiti. And all the people will fully realize the importance and the potency of tefillah. People will realize that everything that a person needs, the way to get it is through tefillah. Tefillah and tachnunim to Hashem Yisbarach. And they also will know, they'll know completely when Moshiach will come that the derech hateva, there's no mamish by itself. And by itself, there's every single thing is being done from the tzivur HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And such emunah, such das, such realization is it's not just Mashiach. That's the reverberation of Mashiach. That's the illumination of Mashiach, knowing that B'yediyah Shlema. That's a das amiti. We started this Torah and we said a person can get dominion over the malachim when he's zoche to yira shlema. The yira is complete. How's the yira complete? When he has das. When a person has proper das, we said, yes, but the thing that blocks it is the three taivas, to have a moment, to have a chulu, the das. And we spoke about this union of das. The main das is the Eino Milvado. There's nothing else. The Kadosh Baruch Hu runs the show, and it's all interactive all the time. Which, being that we're getting closer and closer to Purim, the union of Nosson writes in Likutey Moharan that the union of Moshiach, the union of Haman, the opposite of Moshiach, was to convince the Jews that Yeshno Am Echad is one nation. So the Gemara says Yeshno, it's a matter, sorry, Yeshno is Veloshon Yoshen, sleeping. The Talmud says, Lokem Shalelu Yoshen, he's asleep. How can you say Kadosh Baruch Hu comes to Yoshen? And Rav Nosson writes, specifically, we say, Ura lama tishan Hashem, this is a puzzle. We are asking, wake up, why are you asleep? Why are you asleep? How can you ask why is he asleep? Kadosh Baruch Hu never sleeps. What is this Indian? And besides that, and you see that Haman goes on that gang. He says, Yeshno Amir. There's one Yashen. Talk about sleep. Why does he say Achashverosh? He doesn't listen to them. He doesn't care about them anymore. Finished. Why is go dafka with Yeshno? Because Baruch is asleep. And Nosson says that a person needs to daven and call out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu like somebody is trying to wake someone who is asleep. Nosson says, Mefurish, Baruch Hu never sleeps. Why don't you say somebody who doesn't want to listen to you? Why dafka sleep? What's the mashal dafka sleep? But even Haman buys it. Okay, beseder, because Baruch is asleep. I'm going to make sure that he'll remain asleep. You can say, but sure that obviously Kadosh Baruch was never asleep. We are asleep. We are sleeping nowadays away. And when we are asleep, it feels like the Kadosh Baruch is asleep. For projection, right? It seems to us like Kadosh Baruch is asleep. We live in this hypnotic trance. Convinced there's a world, do this, you do that, you do whatever. The Maisa, there's an Indian, the reforce, whatever it is. There's an Indian to that. There's for Parnosa, everything, it's Negeah, and it's also Avodas Hashem. Doing the Ishtaz Avodas Hashem. And the proof, brings it to Torah Dalet, Mechalek Beis. The proof is that Rabbeinu says that even La'asid Lavoi, in the future, when we won't have to do any milacha in order to have parnasa, Moshiach will come, will be open, no problem. Ish tachat gafno, tachat tainosa, everybody is leaning back, on the easy chair, under the parasol, maybe with a glass of aperitif or something, whatever it is, enjoying, sitting, learning Torah. But it says, Ve'omdu zarim, but foreigners will stand, and they will till the fields, and they will do all the work. In other words, the work will still have to be done. Why do you want it to be done? Because Baruch Hu created the entire world without any souls, without any awakening from below at all. Why we have? Because there's an Ines, Avodas Hashem in Ishtadlos. He says, it's enough nice. But the shleimus idea is that it all is B'koach of Hashem Yisbarach. So over there in Torah Dalet, so what comes out of it is that there are basically three levels of unleashing the chesed of Kadosh Baruch. There's our level where we do melacha. We do the whole thing, beginning to end. Marketing, management, bookkeeping, the whole shebang. But we believe Kadosh Baruch Hu says, that's the basic level. And it is, it's Avodas Hashem. The Ishtadlus that we do is Avodas Hashem Mamash. That's what Rabbeinu says, Torah down before us. Then there's a higher level. The more yira you have, the more chesed you're able to receive. You receive the chesed, you have such a moon, you have such yira, you have to do some ishtadlus, just to be yotzei. You do some ishtadlus, a little bit. La'asad lava, you'll come to the peak where we won't have to do anything. Everything will be done by foreigners. Still, malacha will have to be done because Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world, so it'll be movement from below to above, above to below. But we won't have to do it. It all depends how much B'chinas Moshiach you have, how much das you have. That everything is from Hashem. The more aware you are of this all from Kadosh Baruch Hu, the less input you have to put in, the easier it comes. When you don't believe, even to start, even to wake up in the morning and start doing something, takes a ton. But when a person has a emunah, the way it's supposed to be, then he's open to everything. Haman wanted Am Yisrael to keep on sleeping. It's very important but the difference between a Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't listen to them anymore and a Kadosh Baruch Hu is asleep is because if a Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't want to listen to them, What can they do? He wants to listen. He doesn't want to. He doesn't listen. Can't do anything about it.
Or he's listening and saying no.
No. But if he's asleep, if there's a roishim, the Kodesh Baruch Hu is asleep, that's something that can be undone. You wake him up, he's awake. In other words, that state of Kodesh Baruch Hu not hearing is not a state that Kodesh Baruch Hu doesn't want to hear what you're saying. It's because of being that I'm sleeping my life away, it seems like Kodesh Baruch Hu is asleep with me. This goes to sleep towards me. But if I call him up and try to wake him up, it means I'm waking myself up. We definitely get this in of sleep because sleep is in the we have to wake him up. Finish. Solomon says, listen, I'll make sure that they will keep on sleeping, which means the Kodesh Baruch Hu Kiviyachol will keep on sleeping. There's a whole union of Tzchoi Kasal Elokim. Of Yitzchak, we spoke about it once before. Am Yisrael stems from Yitzchak. He says, L'asad Lova is a medrash. He says that L'asad Lova, the Kodesh Baruch Hu is going to say to Yaakov Avinu, say your children. He says, I can do that. He says, to Avram Avinu, I can do that. So Yitzchak, I'll go to Yitzchak. Yitzchak says that, I'll take care of it. What's so special about Yitzchak? Dafka, this union. Yitzchak is a union of laughter. Tzchoi Kasal Elokim, right? That's what Sarah said. We said, what is a joke? A joke is that the very last moment, everything flips over. Right? So what we said, that the person says that, he went to the store, and you remember I told you the story. He went to the store and he says to the counterman if he wants a Polish sausage. So the guy asked him, are you Polish? Why are you asking that? It's very rude. If I ask you English muffin, you say I'm English. A French sausage, you say I'm French. Why you ask me if I'm Polish? Let's give a Polish sausage. That's because it's a hardware store. But this is a hardware store. At the very end, it flips over. Yitzchak was brought to the Akedah. At the last moment was flipped over. The Shvatim came to Yosef. They didn't know it was Yosef. That was the end of Am Yisrael. That was the end of Am Yisrael. They come to this Russia, this king in Egypt. Their brother is gone. They don't know who he is. And this guy accuses them of being Meraglim, being spies. And he keeps on pressing them and puts them into bigger trouble. And at the end, he forces them to bring their small brother, the only one son of Rachel that was left to Yaakov Avinu. And suddenly he is the one who steals the cup. Okay, they said, that's it. He's staying, that's it. They go back to Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu is going to die from a broken heart. Yehuda says, okay, I can't do that. Literally, it's the end of Am Yisrael before it starts. That's when the joke comes in. 2 words. Ani Yosef. Boom, suddenly everything makes sense. Suddenly the whole thing comes around. Yitzchak Avinu, when he came to the Akedah, the sheet is according to that Yitzchak actually died on the Mizbeach. Saying for fright, whatever it is, but Neshama left and then left and came back. Sheet was immediately came back 3 years, whatever it is that so the Neshama had to exchange because the Neshama got through the bracha to Saras and Neshama from the side of a female entity. So doesn't matter. But the point is that he not only did he on the Mizbeach, but he died. The Moshiach comes back. As Rabbi Akiva Tat says, it says, because Yitzchak is oisios ketz chai. And the end, and then chai. All the all the people in the world, they live and then they die. All the nations, they go, they reach the apex and then they go down and they wash away.
That's the Nefesh Baham, that's very cool. Nefesh This doesn't die.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the nations. The nation Am Yisrael is constantly dying and constantly reborn. It's Ketz Chai. Am Yisrael is constantly being eroded and diminished and constantly regenerated throughout the ages. Mitzrayim, 80% remained in Mitzrayim, 20% came out. It happens to every single generation. Most are getting lost, and then there's a renewal.
In Baba most stay.
Hmm?
And in Baba most stay.
And what?
Most stay there.
Yeah, bevadai. Just keep on sleeping. Cat's high, this is the joke. The joke is at the very end, everything flips over. V'nafachu. Same thing passes with each and every one of us. Oh, what we are going through our lifetime, each and every one of us. I mean, if we actually look at ourselves and see where we are and who we are vis-a-vis everybody else, it may seem to me that Kadosh Baruch Hu took care of everybody, except when it came to me, he went out to lunch. When it came to making me, something went wrong. I know the quality control went out the window. I don't know whatever it is. I'm the one that came out ugly. I know that was the story. Everybody else is just the way it's supposed to be. A shkocha, whatever, the whole thing. When it comes to me, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Don't worry, v'napachu. When it says Amidus yesh inish and is a mitzias that everything turns out, flips over to the good. That's the laughter of Purim. That's the laughter of Chodesh Adar, because it said that Abenu says before all the beginnings were in Pesach. It's a very famous sleep. And he says from now on, today, and it didn't continue. And it also says now all the beginnings are from Purim. So Purim's Aschala. What's the Aschala of Purim? 2 parshas, right? There's the 4 parshas before till Pesach. The first one, Parsha Shkolim, right? It's the beginning of Purim. It starts from Shkolim. Haman gave Shkolim to Achashverosh, and Am Yisrael gave Machzis HaShekel already in the Midbar. It says in Torah Daled that tzedakah, the koach of tzedakah is so great. So the beginning of everything is tzedakah. But this is in Torah Daled. It's a Pasha Shkolim. Baruch Hu should help us, because the meaning of tzedakah is to break the innate cruelty and selfishness that's within. That's the prime directive. And he says, because without that cruelty, we think that, this is one of years. See, I told you I'm defective. I came off the line, with the dent. He says, no. And he says, without that stinginess, the tzedakah has no value. That somebody is naturally, open-handed, that tzedakah is not an avodah. So it's not a toil. When you're kamtzan, when you're a miser and you give tzedakah, now you're talking about, now you have to work on it. I think about tzedakah. Because next week, right, is Purim, right? So this is actually the last year before Purim. Bezat Hashem, what's the Shabbos? We'll meet again, Bezat Hashem. But Bezat Hashem will be zeicha to Shabbos Shalom, a lot of simcha, a lot of health, refuah for everybody who needs it, and v'nafachu l'Yehudi ma'aseh oiro v'simcha v'zon v'yikar. Because Baruch Hu just save all of us. The klipas havim amolek, the v'zoichet of Blushas Mocha v'Esther, and the v'zoichet of Tzas Moshiach. Bina v'samigdash b'zat Hashem v'meher v'meinu amen. Look how many people here.
More people here tonight than on the watch.
What?
More people here tonight.
There's nobody there. Right now, there's nobody there. Not the same.
Minyan.